Hey guys, my name's Jake. Today I'm gonna be making some cinnamon roll pancakes. I mean, I love pancakes and I love cinnamon rolls. They're both amazing. So I decided today, why not just combine them into one? So let's get baking. All right, so first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna make the filling for the pancakes. We'll worry about the pancakes themselves later. But this is gonna be a kind of cinnamony, buttery, and some brown sugar type filling that will kind of swirl around on the pancakes while they're cooking. So first thing we have 3/4 a cup of brown sugar right here. We've got a stick of butter and a tablespoon of cinnamon. So we're just gonna combine all these together. And give it a nice mix. If you have like a small whisk or something, this might work a little better. I'm just using a fork. And we just want to make sure it's nice and smooth and it's all incorporated. All right, and now you got your beautiful mixture. Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna get this into a plastic bag. This is gonna help us pipe it onto the pancakes. Just gonna scrape this out a little bit. All right, now we got it all out. And then we can seal up this bag and set it to the side for now and make our pancake base. All right, welcome back. We got our ingredients over here for the pancakes. First things we got 2 cups of all-purpose flour. We're just gonna throw that in our bowl. And then we got 4 cups of milk. No, sorry, 2 cups of milk. Then we're gonna throw 2 lightly beaten eggs in as well. We got 2 teaspoons of a neutral oil. And then 4 teaspoons of baking powder. Then we're gonna throw a pinch of salt. And then just a little bit of vanilla. You don't have to add this, but I love me some vanilla. And then we're just gonna whisk that all together until it is nice and smooth with no clumps. While you're doing this, I like to just like kind of tap my whisk on the side to get all the clumps out. Just wanna make sure everything is nice and combined. And once we got all that mixed, you kind of can do like a consistency test. This is looking pretty good. Maybe a little thin. Let's see. All right, welcome back to the stove. We got our pan here all nice and heated up. We got our big, beautiful bowl of pancake batter as well. What we're gonna do, we're gonna take a ladle. You can use a measuring cup if you'd like, or even like an ice cream scoop if you want some smaller pancakes. Just gonna get a little less than a full scoop and get this in the pan. And then we're just gonna let that cook for about 30 seconds or so until we see some bubbles start popping up in that pancake. In the meantime, what we're gonna do, we're gonna cut a little corner off of this plastic bag with our cinnamon mixture. Make sure you keep it kind of small. If you get it too big, you're gonna have too much mixture coming out. It's gonna be a little messy. So this is now ready for us, and now we're just gonna wait for this to cook. All right, now we got some beautiful bubbles forming on our pancakes. So we're gonna take our piping bag right here, and we're just gonna make a little swirl of this cinnamon mixture all around. And then we're just gonna let that go for another maybe 15 seconds or so. And then we're gonna flip this beauty right here. Get one more check underneath it. That's looking pretty good. So we're gonna go ahead and flip that. We're gonna let that cook for another 15, 30 seconds or so, till your heart's desire. We'll check the bottom again just to make sure it's all nice and done. Got some of that beautiful butter spilling out from underneath it. That'll kind of crisp up those edges, give it some nice flavor. All right, so this beauty's been cooking for about 30 seconds now. We're gonna go ahead and get it off the stove. Let's check the bottom. It's looking pretty good. Let me get under it. Look at that.
Hello everybody, my name is Corbin Hinckley, and today I'm going to be going through how to cook two of the biggest breakfast staples out there. We got a pack of bacon here we're going to be frying up on the stove, and also a nice little bit of eggs here. We're going to be cooking the eggs two different ways, so let's just go ahead and get bacon. Now bacon is very hard to mess up, all things considered. You literally just put it in the pan and you cook it. Some people like bacon more crispy, less crispy, and it really just depends on how long you leave it in the pan for. If you leave it in the pan for a long time, it's going to be crispier than if you don't. It's a pretty self-explanatory thing there, but let's just go ahead and get a few of these pieces of bacon, go ahead and get them frying. We can turn the heat on. Remember, always wash your hands. Should be self-explanatory, but gonna crank on the heat. Start putting it in there. All right, so we just finished cooking up all 8 pieces of bacon, and we got a nice lot of bacon grease here in the bottom of the pan. And now I'm just going to cook 4 eggs here real quick. We're just going to cook them on one side and flip them over real quick. Not particularly something set up, but I will be leaving the yolks running just because that's how I prefer my eggs. Of course, if you don't want yolks runny, you can just break the yolk in the pan with a spatula, or just continue to cook them. Really no wrong way to do it. So these aren't going to be fried eggs. I just try to normally hit my heat a little high at the beginning and then tone it down as the eggs start to cook. And also this will be a time right as all of the yolks start to, or not yolk, but all of the whites start to whiten up, to also add any flavoring that you want. I normally just put black pepper on mine, but you can also throw some salt on there and otherwise. Just grabbing some black pepper here, just sprinkling it all around. Not too much, but also I'm a big fan of black pepper, so maybe a little over for some people. And yeah, we're just gonna let them sit here for a second. The bacon grease definitely is going to be a bit of an insulator for the eggs, so it may take a quick minute, but of course, once they get going, it's gonna be no time at all until the eggs are wrapped up. All right, so now we're going to be going through and checking the bottom of the eggs. I want to leave them on for just a little bit longer before we flip them over. Of course, like cooking with bacon grease is definitely different than cooking with any butter or any other alternatives that you may use. So it's just some things where you just have to get used to what medium you're cooking with. All right, I'm going to go ahead and flip the eggs now. Hopefully not break any in the process or make a fool of myself, though. That bacon grease is hot, let me tell you. Perfect. Now it won't be long, of course. We don't want to cook the yolks all the way through, so it's going to be a brief second, and we need our plate. Alrighty, let's see how they look. Oh, those look good to me, so we're just going to come here and plate them up, and then we're going to be moving on to our scrambled eggs for the night. Get all these little goodies out too. All right, there's the first egg. All right, next up we're going to be scrambling some eggs here. So we're pretty much just going to be putting all the eggs here in the pan for a second, letting them whiten up just a smidge before going and scrambling them all together after they've sat for a brief second. First, we need to get all the eggs in the pan. Final ones in. And now, we're going to get scrambling. Go ahead, thoroughly scrape all around the pan, of course. Number one key in scrambling is just keeping it moving. Which I was sort of slacking on right there. Maybe bump up the heat just a little bit. Of course, we get less yield of scrambled eggs, or at least that's what it feels like whenever you're cooking them. All right, so we got our scrambled eggs all cooked here, so just gonna go and plate all of them up. Of course, these were also cooked in bacon grease. I didn't add anything else to the pan. And look at that, there are 2 ways to cook some eggs. All right, and that is how you cook up a good old American breakfast, again with our cinnamon roll pancakes, 2 different types of eggs, and just a lot of bacon. And of course, you can't leave the whole dozen just unfinished, so we're cooking up the last 2 here. So yeah, I think we just did a good job getting bacon. Thanks for watching. Do you want me to redo that?
Nope, cut.